Tonight, we're dedicating our show to the life and legacy of one of the greatest leaders in American and world history, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. What we do know is that Martin Luther King had an appreciation for music and the arts. He was a big fan of Mahalia Jackson, Aretha Franklin, Sammy Davis Jr., and many others. So, with a select group of artists, we honor Dr. King's legacy tonight through music and spoken word. And where else could we do it other than the Tammi Late Show, baby? I think Dr. King would approve of this show. Our first guest is a spoken word artist who's about to drop some knowledge. Please, let's give a big round of applause to Honey Blue. Honey!
Y'all, how y'all feeling? Hey, girl, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yes.
I know I'm gonna feel even better when I hear your words.
Oh, well then I'm ready to do it. So let's get it talking. Let's get it cracking.
Let's give it up for Honey Blue.
Peace, family. How you feeling today? Good, good. So I'm gonna just do little pieces for y'all. Is that all right? Is that all right? All right, all right, all right. So this first piece I'm gonna do is called Through My Eyes. So it goes like this. Intelligent black queen, yeah, that's what I am. Here to bring you education from across the land, whether it be from Chi-Town to the streets down in Watts, San Pedro, Long Beach, and Carson, where I rock. You see, I don't know everything, but I know who I am, as well as who I want to be in the future is planned. Through my actions and my tactics that I work on today. No time for wasting time being a mental slave. See, I had to liberate my mind, body, and my soul, and that's myself with all the steps. In order to go, I walk with my head high as I go through the day, even though I'm constantly dealing with heartbreak. You see? Being black is different here in 2020 where everything might seem all right, but that's not really how it be. So let us all come together from the Bay to the Bronx and build a nation just like Garvey had in mind. Take a look through my eyes and my eyes and my eyes. A look through my eyes and my eyes and my eyes. It's no surprise. Yeah, take a look, check it, yeah. Take a look through my eyes. Take a look through my eyes. It's no surprise, yeah. No surprise, take a look through my eyes, take a look through my eyes. Ashe, thank you for that first one. Thank you. So, I'm feeling real good, you know, I'm feeling real blessed. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on this show. So this next one's it's a little more heavy. It's called Behind These Four Walls, and I'm going to just get straight into it. Peace to all my political prisoners and all of my men and women that are incarcerated and who are formerly incarcerated. This is for you guys. Behind these four walls, there stood a young man with hair like wool and ivory skin, making gestures so cool and a walk that was swift. You could tell that homeboy thought he was the shit. But behind these four walls, it wouldn't be the same. Black or white, which side you claim? He said, nah, I ain't choosing. See, I just choose to be me, but behind these four walls, he was anything but free. Behind these four walls, he didn't understand why he stayed up all night just wondering when he would be released from this torturous hell behind iron bars in a prison cell. One phone call a day. So he calls up his mom's, told her, I'll be home soon, so don't wait up too long. See, I only got charged for a misdemeanor, so they can't hold me long, and that's word to the preacher. But behind these four walls, it wouldn't be the same. Inmate 2805 is what he was claimed. With ivory skin, yet hair like wool, he was still a young black man who did not yet realize his truth. 18 years old, smoking Mary Jane on Highway 45 when a cop had switched lanes. Only half a gram on him, driving 65, praying to God that they would just let him off this time. But before he knew it, he had a court date in which the judge pleaded guilty and sentenced him to 8. Now, 8 months in county didn't seem too bad, but behind these four walls, he didn't know if he would last. 6 months in, he caught another case, fighting and yelling with other inmates, which then got him another 16 months and only made the heat rile up. And it was at this time he had felt he had enough. 1 year later, he took his own life at 19 years old in the middle of the night. So, behind these four walls, it's not a game. Nothing to be glorified or talked about for fame. Because see, behind these four walls, we lose our men and women who most likely could have been lawyers or doctors, artists or poets, the first female president, but no one would even know it. Behind these four walls are the stories untold. And behind these four walls are the things they don't show. Ashe. Thank you.
Honey Blue, come talk to me. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Woo. Y'all better show Honey Blue some love. Because we all know somebody behind these four walls.
We should.
I don't know where I want to go first. If I want to go through your eyes or behind the four walls, but I in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to go here. If you could talk to Dr. King, if he was sitting in this chair where I'm sitting right now, what would you ask him?
That's a great question. I feel like I would ask him, what would he have done with Ella Baker? Because at the time, we know that, and if we don't know, Ella Baker was working hand in hand with Martin Luther King. She was the leader of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And I would ask him, you know, how would you work with Ella Baker, because she was working with Black students at the time, to continue to build a radical sense of thought towards what we're going through today in the present? Because of course we're not in the civil rights movement time period, but however we still feel the after effects of what has happened in that time period with things like incarceration. So I would ask, how would you engage Black students to make sure they have this radical mindset so that way they can continue to be future leaders today? So that's something I would ask as a student. So
I hate I'm not him, so that I can give you the answer.
It's all good, you know. That's why I'm in school, you know, and that's why I got friends and family that keep me grounded, so that way we do get answers. So
yeah. And as we know, Dr. King himself was behind those four walls.
Yes.
Wrote many letters behind those four walls.
Right.
Could have lost his life behind those four walls. And before you did that presentation, you sent a shout out to your political prisoners.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say that Dr. King was a political prisoner.
Oh, most definitely.
So who else were you referring to?
Sundiata Akoli. There's so many. Albert Wilcox just got freed. Mumia Abu Jamal is still not free, but Janet and Janine Africa just got free as well. They were incarcerated for 4 decades. So was Albert Wilcox in solitary confinement. So, but there's a plethora of our political prisoners that are still in prison due to being in the Black Liberation Army or being in the Black Panther Party, who are literally fighting for our right to be in this room today. And although, you know, some people would argue, well, they were being violent, but I'm not even going to get into it with the argument with that, because why, as a person being constantly violated of your right to just live life, to walk down the street, and for me not to fight back? You think that my mom is going to raise me to not fight back and not to defend myself? So
but it's also a human instinct.
It's right, exactly. So I just pay homage to them, because they literally gave their lives, and they literally used themselves as a badge to make sure that we were okay, and they don't even know who we are. So I think it's just respectful to give them the rights that they deserve and the respect they deserve.
Inmate number 2805, is that a real inmate?
It's not, no. Well, I would say that it is, because it's definitely a number within the carceral system. But it wasn't a direct reference to somebody that I knew. It was more sort of a narrative. Yeah, the story I was telling.
Wow. If I look through your eyes, Honey Blue, what am I looking at?
You're looking at me, but that's just I feel like too overarching. I feel like looking through my eyes, you see a young girl who's 21, you know, still trying to figure out where life is going, but I feel very grounded and rooted. You see a warrior, a soldier. someone that does work every day to fight for their people and to learn my history so that way I can teach my brothers and sisters, my actual brothers and sisters and my little cousins and things like that, so that way they can be leaders. You see a proud black woman who's proud to be in spaces like this, to be able to have a talk with you, another black woman who's been in the entertainment business for a while now, that, you know, we can have these conversations. You see so much, but at the same time you really don't, because I'm still, you know, I still got life to live, but I'm just me.
At the age of 21, where do you get this from? Where do you get this? Because I do see through your eyes that you are a warrior. That's evident.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Where does that spirit come from? My
people. It really does, and my family, most definitely. I think my spirit comes from my mom and my dad too. Most definitely, they.
But specifically.
Specifically.
What? Like, where did this fire explode?
So I guess maybe my first kind of interaction to this all would be after my dad was incarcerated. My dad was incarcerated. My dad was incarcerated when I was about 10 years old. He was in jail for 2 years, and for something really small that's actually legal today. And so it
must have been marijuana.
No, it actually wasn't. It was for selling bootleg DVDs and CDs, which now you can go on the street as a street vendor and sell whatever you would like to sell. So
he was in jail for 2 years for selling DVDs.
Right, and he actually went to prison for that. He went to prison for
up.
2 prisons. Yes, he did. So
well, the man was killed for selling CDs.
A man was killed for no reason, but
right.
Yeah. So you know, I think it came from that, but most definitely from being a student. You know, I'm an Africana Studies major, so I study my people on a daily. And aside from school, you know, I love to read, so I'm just an avid reader, an avid participant in my community. I do work in Leimert Park and at school. I was vice president of Black Student Union this past semester, so I'm just constantly working. So I think that spirit just comes from me just being alive and the things that have happened in my family and what I'm learning every day.
It's so refreshing to see you. Like, it's a breath of fresh air, because when we see 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds and 20-year-olds of this generation depicted in the media, we oftentimes don't see this. We don't see honey blue. This is not what we see. They show us a different version of what 20-year-olds today are, and they make everybody think that that you are a generation that doesn't care, that isn't smart, that has no knowledge of their past and their history. That's what we're being fed in the media and through certain other outlets.
Right.
But to see you sitting here and talking about everything you want right with the world and spitting out the names like literally like they live with you is just, it's a breath of fresh air. It's amazing. I'm honored that you're sitting in this seat today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's all good.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you, man. I really thank you.
So I can't wait to see where we're headed with you at the helm. I'll tell you that. So.
I'm ready too. I can't wait to see where I'm headed. Hello, okay?
She's headed very far, this honey blue. I'm gonna tell you. I'm sitting in my seat with all up in my feelings right now. But we are coming back because we've got more of the show for you. Honey Blue, thank you so much for being on the Tammi Mack Late Show.
Thanks.
Don't worry, we got some more, baby. This ain't it. We got a whole nother 40 minutes to go. Let's go. It's the Tammi Mack Late Show.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.